Hello from the mountain. This is Greg, and it's Saturday, November 11th. We're going to celebrate today. We're celebrating Veterans Day. So without any ado, let's get started here. Okay? So, what would Veterans Day be without the flag? Join me in the Star Spangled Banner. I want to have anybody out there taking a knee. Hey folks, how you doing? Let's hold off on taps till later. Oh man, it's a nice cold brisk Saturday day up here on the mountain. We got a few inches of snow outside. It's about 10 degrees. It's November 11th, Veterans Day. Normally I'd be celebrating Veterans Day with my fellow veterans, but my buddies are all down in the States right now. My buddy Derek is down somewhere in the States going through training. He's a C-130 cargo master, going through training on his new birds that they got up here for search and rescue. And my buddy Byron is down in Southern California there, going through some medical procedures and recovering from I believe a heart attack. So I'm on my own this Veterans Day. Normally I'd drive into Anchorage and meet with those guys. We go to Cattle Company and have a burger and sit there and discuss our services and just life in general. So today I thought I'd do is go back through memory lane. I looked up and got out of my archives some photographs of myself and some of my friends, or the men that used to work for me in the military. Some of them were friends and some of them were just soldiers that I commanded. And we got some pictures of that to show you guys. And so without ado, let's get into it. First, let's see some basic training shots. These are group pictures. As you can see, try to find me in this shot if you can. It should be pretty high resolution. I'll give you a hint. Second row down from the top. First row, second row. Which one of these goons is me? Let's take a look at them and see what you think. Okay, right there. You guys guessed it. There's my little baby face right there. That was back in 1972, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Basic combat training, A Company, 2nd Platoon. Oh, Fort Lost in the Woods. Man, that was something. That was a hard one for me. I'd gotten injured and I had to stay an extra couple of months in basic training there before I graduated. This guy here, boy, could he sing cadence songs. Sergeant, I forget what his name is, but he was a hell of a GI. Boy, he'd get bellowing those songs out, and man, it was just heavenly. So here's another shot here. Let's see if I can get it to come up. That's my father-in-law, Donald Petite. Now, this is from, I think, back in 1960 sometime. He was a U.S. Marine. Here's my wife's father. And let's see if we can pick him out there. Boy, I can't pick him out. My wife could pick him out, but not me. I just.
He's my uncle.
He's your uncle? I thought he was your father. Okay, never mind. He's her uncle. I get confused. You know, it's the age thing. I'm just getting really old. Alrighty, so let's see who else we got here. Oh, well, let's play the Marine Corps hymn while we're at it. That's the coming up, Marine Corps hymn. And that's the Marine Corps hymn, folks. Thank you for all my Marine buddies, like William Raymond and Byron. Thank you for your services. Both those guys served in Vietnam, numerous tours. They're good people. Okay, now we gotta see if we can get the old lady's picture up here. Let's see her. There it'd be. Now, she was one of the last Women's Army Corps WACs. This went back in the olden days when women had their own branch of the service of the Army. Anyway, the Women's Army Corps. I think in the Navy they were called WAVES. And I don't know what the Air Force and Marines called their women members, but at this time in history, we had separate basic trainings. And she's in here. There she is, right there, right there. Okay, and this is since 1972 as well, I think. So. Let's listen to the Army. I gotta find it here, and my Army goes rolling. There we go. Yep. The Army goes. I think the original song was the caissons go rolling along, and it got changed sometime in World War II, I think. And let's see here. I've got some other songs here if I can find them. Oh, there they are. Let's not forget the Coasties in the Navy and the Air Force. Let's play their songs. Here's the Coasties because of my nephew, Coast Guard Randy Ragnar. Honoring you, Randy. Yep, them Coasties do a great job. Just ask the folks down there in Hurricane Katrina and some of those other places. Without the Coast Guard, they'd be up Schitt's Creek big time. And the Marines. The Marines down in Texas did a hell of a job, I hear, with their amphibious landing crafts that they use to rescue people. And for the Air Force members, my buddy Derek, and I've got, let's see, who else is in the Air Force in my family? On my wife's side, her uncle, one of her uncles, was the Air Force. So let's play it for these two guys. Give her the gun. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We go into the nothing could beat the Army Air Corps. Yeah, that was rousing. Okay, so I think we've gotten everybody except the Navy, and this is dedicated to my father and all my uncles. They were Navy people. Let's see if I can find it here, and we'll play that one. Let's see. No, it's not in that category. There it is, Anchors Away. This is performed by the Marine Corps Band. This is to you, Dad, up there in heaven, and all your brothers. That's a hell of a story, World War II. The Jeter family had, I think, 11 brothers and eight sisters, I think. My grandma had 19 children total in the course of her life, and they made it through that family. It was amazing because during World War II, all the boys went into the service. They all went into the Navy. My dad served in the Pacific Theater, along with most of his brothers. I think one of the brothers served in the Atlantic somewhere. So this is for you guys. Without your dedication, we'd all be speaking Japanese and German, and I don't think that would have worked out very well. Cheers. Okay. Now, keeping with the naval theme, this is a song that all naval personnel are familiar with. She rises, way up, she rises early morning. Excuse me. This is by the Midshipmen's Glee Club. Yep, drunken sailors. The first Marines were drunken sailors. Aye, matey. Okay, so there you have it. The tribute to the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. Okay, and here's a tribute. Oh, let me see here. There's the Cold Warrior. There's me, the Cold Warrior. I think this was taken back in 80. I'm not going to say 84, 82, or 84. That's when the uniforms changed over from to the camouflage pattern from this green, OD green. So I'd like to show, let's see here, here's my Gamma Groat crew, my aid station crew over on V-Forager. All of these folks were part of my command. I can tell you some of their names. There's Jimmy Dean Webster, there's Alan, there's Tony Eclair, and I believe this guy's name was Mark, but it was like 30 years ago, so it's a little fuzzy in the old brain. Okay, there we are inside the aid station tent. You just notice the old uniforms were Cold Warriors in Germany, out there on V-Forager, return to forces to Germany. We were in the 1st and the 29th Field Artillery. We were the aid station component, the aid crew, and we had I think in the aid station we had like 5 people, and then each gun battery had 1 medic, and I ran the whole operation there. That was one. V-Forager was one experience I would never want to repeat. We deployed from Fort Carson, Colorado on C-130s to Bangor, Maine. No, it wasn't C-130s. Let's see. It was on jets. We got to Bangor, Maine, and the jet landed for refueling, and they didn't have the proper nozzle to refuel the jet. So we sat on the tarmac for about 8 hours, and you get a couple hundred GIs, young GIs, running around the tarmac and stuff. And poor stewardesses on the plane, man, they tried their best, but you know, we were just too much to handle. So we finally we'd been awake for about 18 hours when we got into Mannheim, Germany, and then from there we had to draw equipment. None of us got any sleep. We didn't get a break for 3 days straight. So we all stayed up. After about the third day of no sleep, your brain starts playing really bad tricks on you. Hey Reva, come get this cat. So it was a nightmare. But once we got our equipment drawn and we got out in the field, it wasn't too bad. We'd drive from one stanza of woods to the other. We'd lay the guns in, camouflage all the positions and stuff. And what was really cool was Germany at that time. They would follow us around. We had an NCO assigned to the battalion whose job was it to take the checkbook with him. And whenever we destroy something, he'd write him a check right on the spot. So we did some damage to some of those little towns and stuff. Not corrals or nothing, just moving that heavy equipment. If you've ever seen a M80 tank recovery vehicle or a Paladin self-propelled howitzer, they're pretty damn big. And you get into those small little cities and stuff, and you start making left turns and right turns. Well, you tend to clip side of buildings, you knock over poles. I think one person had their car ran over by the one of the drivers of the M80 tank recovery vehicle. And then we got out to the woods. So we go from one stand of woods to the next. We'd go there, set the guns up, practice aiming the stuff, then we'd pull it all down and move to another place. So once it was over, we got to celebrate a little bit, and here's some pictures of our celebrations. Germany is known for its guest houses. There we are, hoisting a few, and there's even more of us. I think one, two, these guys, this one, this guy were all the aid station crew. These guys here, I believe, were commo crew, guys, or they could have been maintenance dudes. But boy, that beer was really good. Those are my memories from that era. Okay. Well, you know, a lot of folks didn't make it home from Vietnam. A lot of folks didn't make it home from the Gulf War. And a lot of people didn't make it home from Afghanistan. And we're still fighting overseas. We're still fighting in places like small unit actions in places like Africa, as well as Asia, Philippines. We've got troops all over the planet right now. Sometimes big, massive amounts of troops, and then sometimes just maybe a team of 12 special forces folks. They usually operate in teams of 12. And it really amazes me that a lot of the press has forgotten about that we're in active wars, and that our guys are still coming home all shot to shit, blowed up, while they're defending this nation. And these freaking left-hard protester assholes. You know, if you see somebody standing on the flag, fucking with the flag, beat the shit out of them. Make it worth their while. Let them feel some of your anger. You know, and for you NFL assholes out there that won't stand for the pledge, or not pledge, but the flag and the Star Spangled Banner. You guys remember, without the veterans, without the people who fought and bled and died for this country and that flag, you wouldn't have a job. You wouldn't have maybe making no millions of dollars a year. So on that note, I want you folks to continue your boycott of the NFL. And those of you who aren't boycotted, I know some of my relatives have season tickets and stuff, and they're going to the games no matter what. Okay, well, that's some of the lowest bullshit available for your personal satisfaction of watching overpaid morons moving the ball around on a football field. You're willing to accept the disrespect of the veterans and of the flag of this country. So that speaks volumes about you and who you really are. All right. This is for all the guys who didn't make it home. Okay, with that sad note, we're going to end this broadcast. I tried streaming this and recording it at the same time, and it looks like the stream is not up to snuff, and so it's probably got a lot of dropouts and stuff. So we'll just replace it with the recording here, and I hope to see you guys again or talk to you again. If you like this stuff, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and have a great weekend. Bye.